like this though. All right. So here's what happened. About 2 weeks ago, I started going back to Upwork Outreach to get new clients. My cold emails were booking calls for me, but I was running low on budget and I needed a cheap strategy to get clients now. So I sent exactly 6 proposals until I landed a new copywriting client, and this one was a special one. Because to close this client, I didn't have to go on a sales call and let that sink in. I didn't even have to do any chatting whatsoever before receiving the offer. The client sent me the offer straight after reading my proposal, and it was a $40 per hour and 40 hours per week deal, meaning if I worked for the full scope of the contract, I could now earn a solid 6.2K per month from this one client. Not too bad if you ask me. And so in this video, I'll show you the 3 key lessons on how I did that so you can replicate what I did and use it in your own outreach. And to get the most value out of this video, make sure to stick around until the end because I'll be hooking you up with a nice little bonus. But before jumping into the video, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe for more copywriting and outreach videos like these. Now, let's get straight into it. So lesson number 1 is treat your proposals just like your copy. You should treat it similar to an email that you will write for a client, and you should use the same copywriting principles that you would use in that email to persuade people to buy your client's service or product or whatever. So let's say you're selling a digital nomad course to show people how to make money online and live a digital nomad lifestyle for some digital nomad coach or info product business, whatever, right? Personal brand. In that email that you are selling the course for to that email list, you want to persuade your avatar and your target audience into buying it. So you want to, at first have a really good strong subject line. You want to have a hook that captures the attention and that opens a loop, right? Opening a loop means basically if you have something in the beginning, you will say that you'll promise something, or you will say that, oh, this and that happens, but first let me get into something else. So for me, for example, I used my copywriting skills and I came up with something creative. I said, if this doesn't work, then I'll buy you pizza rolls. And then I said, read this, Sean, because this will be the last proposal that you will ever read before. And then afterwards, I gave him the 4 reasons why. And so he wanted to stick around because that was a big promise and that was like opening a loop, right? And then also I built lots of authority and social proof throughout the proposal and gave a strong what's in it for me for him, linked every one of my bullet points that I was mentioning, basically my experience and why I'm the right fit for the job. I was basically giving him really strong benefits that made him feel like it would be stupid to not accept the job or to not take me on. And so that's what you want to do with your Upwork proposal, because I see so many people running around with templates or, copy pasting stuff or being very generic and just writing a cover letter as if it was a real cover letter just for a job, but you actually want to treat it like some real copy that you would write for a client or that you would write for someone else, and use the same copywriting skills and principles to not sell your clients' products or services, but to sell yourself and your own services and why you're qualified and basically the benefits of working with you. So as I said, you can do that by building lots of authority, building lots of social proof, basically telling people about your experience and your case studies in a way where it links to direct benefits for the client. So you don't want to just say like, oh, I got 2 years of experience in direct response copywriting and I've written hundreds of emails, blah, 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 right? You want to say that, but then afterwards link it to the benefit that is related and personalized to your client. So basically you want to say something like, I have over 2 years experience in direct response copywriting. I've written over hundreds of emails, meaning that for your emails, for your specific project and specific offer and specific product or service that you're selling and your brand, I can do XYZ for you and get you XYZ results, right? So that is much more appealing for the client because you'd be like, oh, okay, he understands. Okay, this is what working with this freelancer is going to get me. So he's much more likely to take you on. Lesson number 2 is you want to create those perfect Tinder match vibes with your client. And what that means is basically you want to personalize your Upwork proposal to the maximum. So the client should have the impression as if you would write the proposal only for him and not for somebody else. Your entire proposal should look like it was only aiming for that one client, and it's not just a template or copy paste structure that you just put there and just replaced a few things within that to make it personalized. Now, to be honest, what I do these days is I write my proposals completely from scratch and tailor to each client specifically and make it as personalized and specific as possible. But what I do afterwards is I save all my best proposals that I like into a Google Doc, and then I create a kind of proposal swipe file. And what this does for me is whenever I'm not creative enough or I can't come up with something from scratch, I can can get inspiration from there, or I can take different parts, elements, and pieces from those proposals, put them together into a new proposal and tweak them so I can make them really, really personalized, make the client still feel like that was a proposal that I only sent to him and not to 50 other clients. Because basically, as a client on Upwork, as a business owner, and I know that because I not only find work and clients through Upwork as a freelance copywriter, but I also hire through Upwork for video editing, thumbnail designing, and all those virtual assistants and all that stuff. And as a business owner, and I can say that from my own experience, you want to look for people who fit your business the best. And doing that is checking the cover letters and the proposals and how personalized they are. And the more personalized they are, the more you build a connection with that freelancer, because you will think as a business owner that, oh, this guy took out all the time, put in all the effort to write a personalized proposal just for me. So that means that he will put in the effort to work on my project as well. Because sending out copy paste templates is going to show the client that you are not even putting in the effort to get the job in the first place. So that will mean that later on, when working with the business owner, you won't put in as much effort for their work as well. And so that is something that can disqualify you. Now, by all means, if you're a total beginner and you don't really have any copywriting skills and knowledge, and you still want to kind of get jobs and send out proposals, you can start with using different templates. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying anything against that. In fact, in my own program, the Upwork Domination Starter Kit, I even give you different templates that you can use as a beginner. But again, that is only something for beginners. And if you are already somewhat progressed in copywriting and you know basically how to sell stuff and how to write, you should definitely go ahead and write each proposal from scratch and make it super, super personalized, because those are the things that win you clients. All right, last and not least, we have something really, really classic, and that is something that I can repeat every single time that I talk about Upwork proposals, and I also will, and I also have already mentioned a million times, but it's basically never ever send out a proposal without any samples or case studies in it. So the business owner and the client, right, they will not only judge you based on your experience and based on the stuff that you tell about your experience and your copywriting skills within your proposal that we just talked about earlier, but they will also judge you based on your direct work that you include. So let's say if you're applying to an email copywriting job, you always want to have something, have some work samples or some form of copy that you have written before, so that the client can take a look and can qualify you based on that. Because believe it or not, when I landed Tyler Lopez as a copywriting client through Upwork, I didn't hop on a single sales call, and basically they hired me. And the first thing that on the first call that I had when I was already hired and in the team, right, the first call that I had with Phil, the lead copywriter from the company, the first thing he said on that call was he liked my emails and he liked the style that I was writing them in. And so imagine if I hadn't proposed to that job with a sample or with any type of work that I did before, I probably wouldn't have gotten the job. And that is something that just changed my life. And so I cannot stress this enough. You always want to include sample. Now, if you are a beginner, you won't have any case studies. You probably won't have like screenshots of like stats that you pulled or like conversion rates or open rates, but you can still write a few practice copy pieces and apply with those. Because again, when I applied to Ty Lopez, I also had a few different emails that I wrote for clients, but also emails that I wrote for practice, and nobody gave a shit. And they just judged on my skills and not whether I have worked with any other clients before. So as I said, as a beginner, just write practice pieces, copy, and apply with those samples to jobs. And if you're more advanced, dude, take any type of case studies and video testimonials, put them into a portfolio, put them into a Google Drive folder where you have video testimonials, stats, like screenshots of actual stats of like open rates, conversion rates, and all that stuff, and your actual samples themselves. Put them all together and send them in your proposal. Because the more case studies you can have, the more leverage your proposals will have and the more qualified you will be. And if you can showcase those case studies, you will win against all the other copywriters. So what I'm doing when I'm sending out proposals is I do have a Google Drive where there are all my video testimonials and all my samples and also screenshots of stats. But then I also propose with, at the bottom of each proposal, that's like a new option that is, or a new feature that Upwork added, is basically I propose with portfolio pieces or samples and then also featured jobs that I had before straight from Upwork. And so I do both because it's important, because then I increase the chances of the client actually checking out my work and then qualifying me to see that I'm the right guy for the job. So if you're interested now in learning from me personally, like directly on how to write those types of proposals and how to get those deals on Upwork that can pay you, as I have, 6K plus per month without even hopping on a sales call or chatting back and forth or do any type of selling like that, then check out one of the links in my description. You will basically find the Upwork Domination Starter Kit, and you can join right now. The price is still at $97 as a one-time payment. So you buy it for $97 and you keep it forever. Plus you will have lifetime access to the live coaching calls that we have. I hold one live coaching call every week where I basically review the proposals of you guys, myself, and also your profiles, and give you the best tips and advice and strategies that you can use to get copywriting clients from Upwork. So if you haven't checked it out already, make sure you check it out. As I said, the price is still $97 as a one-time payment, but Houston and I are already working on the back end, and with all the results that we're kind of getting right now for other students and also for ourselves, we're going to increase the price by a lot, and that will take probably just a couple weeks. So as I said, as long as you can still join for $100, make sure you check it out. And with all the 3 tips that I just gave you and basically all of those value nuggets, I'm 100% sure that you will crush it on Upwork and that your proposals will land you clients. It's just a numbers game, and it is just a matter of not giving up and always tweaking your systems and kind of testing new things. So if you enjoyed this video and if you took lots of value from it, then as I said, make sure to like it and subscribe, and then also share it with another copywriter who might need some help on getting clients, especially from Upwork. And I'll see you in the next one.